What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another Speak of Nuts video. Today, we are going to be doing our first of many stories. All right, we're going to start a story time series. We're going to go until I run out of stories to tell. And if I live some stories that I want to tell, the story or the story time series is going to go for a long, long time. All right, tonight, we are going to be talking about the first time that I ever got high. Yes, that is right. Yo, boy, Speak of Nuts got high. And I'm not hyping it up to be a good thing, so don't get that wrong there. But by the way, this is all just for entertainment purposes. None of the stories you're about to hear are true at all whatsoever. No matter what you think, YouTube, the story is not true. All right, it never happened and it never will. Anyway, let's get into it. The first time I got high. Let's go all the way back to when I was 16 or 17 years old. I can't really remember because life has been busy. You know what? I just remembered. I was about 16 years old, about to turn 17. I was working at a restaurant, per se. And no, it was not Texas Roadhouse before you say anything because Texas Roadhouse is disgusting. I'm just kidding. They have got the best steak I have ever tasted in my life. But it was some sort of restaurant, okay? And our main thing was steak. But I can promise you it was not Texas Roadhouse. Like, seriously, it was not Texas Roadhouse. But anyway, I was about 16 years old. I was, I believe, a sophomore slash junior in high school. It could have, I think it was the summer going into my sophomore year, or sorry, summer going into my junior year of high school. And I was working at this roadhouse. I had been working there since I was, well, probably about 16 and some change. So I had been working there for about a year now, just about to go on a year or two, or a year and some change, I guess. But I was a dishwasher, okay? When I started this job, let me give you some background. I started as a dishwasher, and I was a dishwasher for probably, let's say, almost an entire year. That's my best guess, all right? And then I got promoted, I guess if you call it a promotion. I got moved to host, and I was hosting. I was being a busboy. I was being a bar back, and I was being a person that serves the grill. So I was cooking, I was cleaning, I was hosting. I was doing literally everything. All right. Life was stressful. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. But we made it through. All right. That was actually the one job I had that I really enjoyed. Before I was working there, I was working at Walmart as a person doing the OGP, aka online grocery pickup. And I hated that job. I got in trouble for reading my Bible in the break room, so I quit before they could fire me. Anyway, it was just a normal night, okay? It was a night where it was a Saturday night, I believe. I know for a fact it was a weekend because we were open later than we were open on a weekday. And, well, I was the one closing, okay? So I was there with our another coworker. Let's call her Shelly. We'll call her Shelly. And me and Shelly were both closing together. And she was like, "You know what? It's probably about 9:30 at night, all right? An hour or so before we close." And I'm like, "You know, I got everything that I can take care of everything up here. Why don't you go out back and do something?" And she was like, "Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to go smoke." And I'm like, "What do you mean? You don't smoke cigarettes? That shit's disgusting." And she's like, "Nah, I'm about to go smoke this joint with a couple of the cooks." And I was like, "All right, bet. Y'all enjoy." And then, well, about 20 minutes later, I come outside to take out the garbage, and sure enough, they're smoking. And I'm like, "Cool, I see this crap every night. I don't really care. I'm not into this stuff, all right? I just want to work and get home so I can get back to my homework and stuff. You know what I mean?" And they're like, "Yo, Nate, you need to come hit this." And I'm like, "What are y'all talking about?" All right. And I had a Mustang at the time. They were literally, one of the cooks was literally leaning on my Mustang. And this guy was a big dude. I'm not going to lie. He could have kicked my butt six ways to Sunday. All right. I'm not even kidding, bro. This dude would have whooped my butt on the Sabbath if he had the option. And, well, he was like, "Yo, you should come smack this." And I'm like, "No, I'm good. Can you stop leaning on my car?" Because the guy was leaning on my car. He's like, "Hey, I'll stop leaning on your car if you smack this." And I was like, "Bro, I'm not playing. I'm just trying to do my work. I'll leave in 20 minutes. I'm ready to go home." And he's like, "Nah, you come smack this. I'll stop leaning on your car." All right. And the dude would have whooped my butt. I guarantee it. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just take one hit of this thing and then I'll be gone. All right. I'll be going home. Nothing's going to happen. I'm completely fine. But boy, was I wrong. So I go over. All right. They're all chit chatting. They're all shooting the shit, if you will. And, well, I take a hit of this thing. And after about like 2 minutes, I'm like, bro, this ain't nothing. They're like, oh, just wait a little bit. It'll hit you. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, buddy. So I stand out there for a couple of minutes and I make the mistake of hitting this thing not once, not twice, not even 3 times, but 4 times. All right. And this thing was rolled. It wasn't no gummy. It was the real deal. All right. And, after about 10 minutes, I'm like, what the heck is going on? All right. Y'all are literally out here. Y'all spend hundreds of dollars to be doing this crap, and it doesn't even feel good. Like, what? Oh, it doesn't even feel good. You know what I mean? And then it hits me. All right. I don't even remember what this cook said to me. All right. Right after I was talking some trash about their grass, if you will. And I just start laughing. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I was peeing my pants a little bit. I couldn't stop laughing. All right, I couldn't stop looking at our cook's big beardy face, his 40-year-old self, and I just couldn't stop laughing. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It was funny to me. And they were like, "Yo, what's so funny?" And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what's so funny, but I'm happy right now. All right, you feel me? You know exactly what I'm talking about if you're watching this video. And well, I had just realized that I was high for the first time. And so I'm like, heck yeah, this is awesome. I'm laughing at everything. Cool. I got to go back inside and finish my shift. I got to sweep and roll up the carpets. I got to clean off the windows. I got to clean up the host stand. I got to roll some silverware. And then I'm out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? And then, well, it hit me even harder. I started getting dizzy. I started feeling like I wanted to lay on the ground. Like I could have sat there and counted 500 freaking crayons and kids menus that I rolled, and I wouldn't have even blinked. I'm not gonna lie, I would have not even blinked once. I was so locked into whatever I was doing at the time. And then, well, the other hostess comes up and she's like, "Yo, are you good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She's like, "You need to go get a cup of water." I was like, "All right, bet." So I'm walking from the host stand back to the kitchen, and all of a sudden, it's really hard to walk. I'm not going to lie. It's extremely hard to walk back to the kitchen while you're a little bit faded. You know what I'm saying? And, well, I didn't take it very well. So, this hostess, God bless your soul, we'll call her Frida. Frida, I appreciate you for walking me back to the kitchen. I really do appreciate it. She got me the fattest glass of, like, literally, oh, up on a berm here. She got me the biggest pitcher of water I've seen in my life. I'm not even kidding. Like, it was an entire, like, tea urn full of freaking water, dude. It was so big. And I chugged that mug. I chugged probably half of it, which was probably guaranteed close to a half a cup of water. Or a half a gallon of water, sorry. Anyway, so I drink this water, right? And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, yo, I'm chilling. I'm ready to go home. All right. So I go outside and I get in my car and she's like, hey, you sure you good to drive? I'm like, yeah, I live half a mile down the street, which by the way, I actually did. It was so close. Like I could literally walk to my house in 5 minutes if I wanted to, if I was speed walking, I guess. But I was like, yeah, I'm chilling. Well, little did I know I was not chilling. All right. I remember the exact song that I was listening to. All right. Or the exact song that came on. All right. I popped into my car. All right. And I turned on the radio. The first song that came on was freaking Major Tom. All right. I don't know if you've ever heard this song, but there's a point at this song where it's like 4, 3, 2, 1, Earth below us. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. This part of the song hit me harder than my father, dude. Like it hit so hard. By the way, my dad did not hit me. I'm just making jokes. Anyway, but this song hit so hard and I had no clue why. It literally gave me chills everywhere. But I just kind of toked it off to be the Mary Jane, if you know what I'm saying. And well, I started driving home. It was all fine and funny and dandy until I left the parking lot. Boy, oh boy. Have you ever been skiing before or sledding when it feels like obviously you're really not in control, but you're the one who pushed yourself off the hill? That's exactly what this was. All right. I was on the road doing 30, 40 miles an hour. I had gotten myself there, but I don't remember how. It was probably the worst drive I've ever had in my life completely. And I've had plenty of drives where I've been hungover and just didn't want to be in the car. This was something different, man. I'm not even gonna lie. It was the scariest 1 minute and a half drive of my life. I couldn't even explain it to you. I remember having about four panic attacks in the span of a minute and a half on the way home. It's just something I wouldn't want to go through again. Anyways, that's the story. I made it home safe, and I think I slept for about 14 hours. And then I woke up and I think I went right back to sleep. I'm not going to lie. I think I got home somewhere around 11 o'clock and I slept until like freaking 2 in the afternoon. Something crazy like that. Anyway, that's about it. That's a story time the first time that I got high. By the way, this is, once again, completely for entertainment purposes only. None of this is real. Anything you hear from my mouth is all satire. None of it's real. All right. It's all completely for YouTube, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink. And that wink, wink does is that also that wink, wink is completely for entertainment purposes only. Anyway, let me know if you guys like this video. Like the video, give me a comment. All right, give me a subscribe. Let me know what story time I should do next because I promise you, I've been to college. I got plenty of stories. Anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.